Krishna 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 Hey Krishna 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 Hey Krishna 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 Rakshama Krishna 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 Pahima Rama Raghava Rama Rama Raghava Rakshama Krishna Keshav Krishna Keshav Krishna Keshav Pahima Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Pada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitangscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshaya Utale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasa Adighor Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Haraye Namaha Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Gopala Govinda Rama Sri Madhusudana Hari Haraye Namaha Om Apavitra Pavitro Va Sarva Avastang Gatopi Va Ya Smaret Pundarika Aksham Sabhaya Abhyantara Suchihi Sri Vishnu Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. Om Ajnana Timarandhasya Jnana Anjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamahang Vande Sri Gurun Dinataranam. Yat Kripa Tamahang Vande Parama Ananda Madhavam. Trinadapi Sunichena Taradava Sahishnuna Manina Manadina Kirtaniya Sadahari. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam. Kalau Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatir Anyata. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koriya Aikya Arana Koriho Mane Asha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, we have about 7 more episodes left, and we will finish this Prayers of the Personified Vedas. It has been quite a, shall we say, marathon. So we will do 2 more today, and that brings it down to 5. Today's first lesson is entitled Krishnarthe Akila Cheshta. The Personified Vedas continue. My dear Lord Krishna, if saintly persons do not take care to eradicate completely the roots of sinful desires, they cannot experience the Supersoul, although Krishna is sitting side by side with the individual soul. Samadhi or meditation means that one has to find the Supersoul within oneself. One who is not free from simple reactions cannot see the Supersoul. Just as if a person has a jeweled locket in one's necklace but forgets the jewel, it is almost as though he or she did not possess it. Similarly, if an individual soul meditates but does not actually perceive the presence of the Supersoul within oneself, he or she has not actually realized the Supersoul. Now Prabhupada comments as follows. Persons who have taken to this path of self-realization must therefore be very careful to be uncontaminated by the influence of Maya. Srila Rupa Goswami says, Anya vilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhaktir uttama. The devotee should be completely free from all sorts of material desires. A devotee should not be affected by the resultant actions of karma and jnana. One simply has to understand Krishna and carry out Krishna's desires. That is the pure devotional stage. The personified Vedas continue to offer their prayers. Mystic yogis who still have contaminated desires for sense gratification never become successful in their attempt, nor can they realize the supersoul within the individual self. As such, the so-called yogis and jnanis, who are simply wasting their time in different types of sense gratification, either by mental speculation or by an exhibition of limited mystic powers, will never become liberated from conditional life and will continue to go through repeated births and deaths. For such persons, both this life and the next life become sources of tribulation. Such sinful persons are already suffering tribulation in this life, and because they are not perfect in self-realization, they will be plagued with further tribulation in the next life. Despite all endeavors to attain perfection, such yogis contaminated by desires for sense gratification will continue to suffer in this life and in the next. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur remarks in this connection that if sannyasis and persons in the renounced order of life who have left their homes for self-realization, but if they do not engage themselves in devotional service of Lord Krishna, but instead become attracted by philanthropic work, such as opening educational institutions, hospitals, or even monasteries, churches, or temples of demigods, they will find only trouble from such engagements, not only in this life, but in the next. Sannyasis who do not take advantage of this life to realize Krishna simply waste their time and energy in activities outside the jurisdiction of the renounced order of life. A devotee's attempt to engage one's energies in such activities as constructing a Vishnu temple, however, is never wasted, for such engagements are called Krishnarthe Akila Cheshta, variegated activities to please Krishna. So that is the theme of this episode. So let's review that and emphasize it. The devotee's attempt to engage his or her energies in such activities as constructing a Vishnu temple is, however, never wasted. Such engagements are called Krishnarthe Akila Cheshta, variegated activities performed to please Krishna. A philanthropist opening a school building and a devotees constructing a temple are not on the same level. Although a philanthropist opening an educational institution may be a pious activity, still that comes under the laws of karma, whereas constructing a temple for Vishnu is transcendental because it is devotional service. We should always remember that devotional service is never within the jurisdiction of the law of karma. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma Na Shochati Na Kangshati Samak Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhakting Labate Param. Devotees transcend the reaction of the three modes of material nature and stand on the platform of Brahman realization, technically called Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate, as Krishna also says in chapter 14 of the Gita. Mang chayo abhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Devotees of the personality of Godhead transcend all the reactions of the three modes of material nature. Devotees are situated on the transcendental Brahman platform. Therefore, the devotees are liberated both in this life and in the next. As Krishna says in the 3rd chapter of the Gita, Yagyartha karma nonyatra lokoyam karma bandanaha tad artham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Any work done in this material world for Yagya or Vishnu or Krishna is considered to be liberated work, but without connection with Achyuta, the infallible Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no possibility of stopping the resultant actions of the law of karma. Therefore, the life of Krishna consciousness is the life of liberation. The conclusion is that a devotee, by the grace of Lord Krishna, is liberated both in this life and the next, whereas karmis, jnanis, and yogis are never liberated either in this life or in the next. So I have written my own purport in addition to what Prabhupada has said. Let's see if you find it stimulating. According to the teachings of Srimad Mahaprabhu, here is Lord Chaitanya's advice regarding today's topic. So Lord Chaitanya said this, and it's found in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Devotional service to Krishna is the chief function of the living entity. There are different methods for the liberation of the conditioned soul: karma, jnana, yogi, and bhakti. But all of them are dependent on bhakti. That's an important point. That is so important. All of them are dependent on bhakti. For without devotional service, all other methods of self-realization are weak and insignificant. So unless one comes to the devotional service of Lord Krishna, jnana and yoga cannot give the desired results. Lord Chaitanya then quotes from the 1st canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Narada is instructing Vyasadeva on how he and why he should compile Srimad Bhagavatam, even after composing the most illustrious Vedanta Sutra. Here is the verse. Naishkarmyam api achyuta bhava varjitang na shobhate jnanam alang niranjanam kutak punak shasvad abhadram ishvare na charpitang karma yad api akaranam. When pure knowledge is beyond all material affinity, but is not dedicated to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, then it does not appear very beautiful, although it is knowledge without material tinge. What then is the use of fruitive activities, which are naturally painful from the very beginning and transient by nature, if they are not utilized for the devotional service of the Lord? How can they be attractive? Next, Lord Chaitanya quotes another verse from the Bhagavatam. Tapasvino dana para yashasvino manasvino mantra vida sumangala shemang na vindanti vinayad arpanam tasmai subhadra sarvase namo namaha. Those who perform severe austerities and penances, those who give away all their possessions out of charity, those who are very famous for their auspicious activity, those who are engaged in meditation, those who are engaged in mental speculation, and even those who are very expert in reciting Vedic mantras, are not able to obtain any auspicious results, although they are engaged in so-called auspicious activities, if they do not dedicate their activities to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I therefore repeatedly offer respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose glories are always auspicious. Lord Chaitanya continued to drive home his point as follows. Speculative knowledge alone, without devotional service, is not able to give one liberation. On the other hand, even without knowledge, one can obtain liberation if one engages in bhakti yoga, the Lord's devotional service. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya quoted from the prayers of Lord Brahma found in the 10th canto after Brahma was defeated by Krishna's superior mystic power. This was when Brahma attempted to steal the boys and calves. We studied that in chapter 14 of Krishna book. Here is a verse Lord Chaitanya quoted from those prayers. Shreya sriting bhaktin udasyate vibho klishyanti ye kevala bodha labhaye tesham asau kleshala eva shishyate nanyad yapa stula tushavagadinam. My dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the only auspicious path. If one gives it up simply for speculative knowledge or the understanding that these living beings are spirit soul and the material world is false, one undergoes a great deal of trouble. One only gains troublesome and inauspicious activities. One's endeavors are just like beating a husk which is already devoid of rice. Therefore, one's labor becomes fruitless. Lord Chaitanya continued, the living entity is bound around the neck by the chain of Maya only because the living entity has forgotten that he or she is eternally a servant of Krishna. So if the conditioned soul engages in the service of the Lord and simultaneously carries out the orders of one spiritual master and serves him, then one can get out of the clutches of Maya and become eligible for shelter at Krishna's lotus feet. I have to emphasize this last statement because it is so important. Notice what Lord Chaitanya says. Not only do you have to engage in the service of the Lord, but you have to simultaneously carry out the order of one's spiritual master and serve him. So that's important. Lord Chaitanya continues. The followers of the Varna Ashram institution accept the regulative principles of the four social orders: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and the four spiritual orders: Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. However, if one carries out the regulative principles of these orders, but does not render transcendental service to Krishna, one falls into a hellish condition of material life. And now Lord Chaitanya substantiates that statement by quoting a verse from the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, from the Uddhava Gita portion. Ya eshang purushang sakshad atma prabhavam ishwaram na bhajanti abhajananti sthanat brashta patantyadaha. So, if one simply maintains an official position in the four Varnas and Ashram, but does not worship the Supreme Lord Vishnu, he or she then falls down from one's puffed up position into a hellish condition. So then, Lord Chaitanya completed this particular philosophical point and quoted this very famous shloka. These, of course, were the teachings to Sanatan Goswami. But this verse is one of the main verses of Lord Chaitanya's movement. In fact, Prabhupada used the philosophy of this next verse as his explanation of his Back to Godhead magazine. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hoy Andakar Jahan Krishna Tahan Nahi Mayara Adhikar. Krishna is compared to sunshine, and Maya is compared to darkness. Whenever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. Similarly, as soon as one takes to Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of Krishna's external energy, will immediately vanish. So that's why Prabhupada wrote, and you'll see on the Back to Godhead magazine right under it, it says, wherever there is Godhead, there is light. And wherever there is Maya, there is darkness. Wherever there is Krishna, there cannot be Maya. There cannot be darkness. So, looking at the time, I will not do the next section. We will go immediately to the prayers of Lord Nrsimha. Namaste Narasimhaya Prahladakat Dayane Hiranya Kashipurvaksha Shilatanka Nakalayi Ito Nrsimha Parato Nrsimho Yato Yato Yami Tato Nrsimha Bahir Nrsimha Hridaye Nrsimho. Nrsingham ading sharanam prapadye. Tavakara kamala varei nakam adbhuta sringam. Dalita hiranyakashipu tanu bringam. Eshavadrita narahari rupa jai jagadisha hare. Jai jagadisha hare. Jai jagadisha hare. Keshavadrita Nrsimha Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Om Tat Sat. All right. We will do the first two verses of this Damodarashtaka, and I will put the words there. You can see the words, yes? You all see the words? Can you see? Tell me, I got to know by your reaction. All right, now I know. Okay. Let us go. Namamishwaram Sachid Ananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashoda Biyo Lukalad Davamanam Padam Rishtam Adyantato Drutya Gopya. To the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternity, knowledge, and bliss, whose sharp-shaped earrings swing to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokula, who, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter, and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, Krishna is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda. But Krishna has been caught from behind by Yashoda because she ran after Krishna with greater speed. To that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, I offer my humble obeisances. Ruddantang Mohur Netra Yugmam Rijantam Karamboja Yugmena Satanka Netram Muhushwasa Kampa Trirekanka Kanta Stitagraivam Damodaram Bhakti Badham. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, Krishna is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. Krishna's eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking. And because of Krishna's quick breathing, due to crying, this Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, whose belly is bound not with ropes, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Tat Sat.